Oh, we got Borderlands 4 drama as well. I think we might do another video of this guy just because it's convenient.
The CEO of Gearbox Software, Randy Pitchford, might be the most out of touch.
Fucking Randy Pitchford. That's what we're gonna do. So, if you don't know anything about Randy Pitchfork, or Pitchford, whatever the hell his name is, he is the main like owner of Gearbox Software. Now, he used to be like he's been like Daddy Cringe for a long time. He's famous because he worked on like some really. I heard the levels were good for Duke Nukem 3D, but he was like one of the level designers for Duke Nukem 3D. Eventually, like swung his wiener around enough to get up to like the top of Gearbox Software. It is funny because one of the weirdest clips ever of him being cringe. Let me see if I can find the video of him. He just was like, he was at a Gamescom and he's like, I own the rights to Duke Nukem. I Duke Nukem, Dookie Dookie Duke, Dookie Dookie in my mouth. Oh, dude, he's so cringe, bro. This guy sucks. This guy sucks so bad, dude.
Peggy 18.
I'm Randy Pitchford, president of Gearbox Software and executive producer of Duke.
Look at this goofball. Look at this absolute goofball, dude. I don't know. He's there was like a quote of him like, "Oh, look at me! Gosh darn, guys! Look at my funny thing that said that gosh darn, you don't think I have a sense of humor? I own the rights to Duke Nukem." It's so depressing. It's like so depressing where Duke Nukem's at. They could have like remade it. They could have done anything, but it's nah. Randy Pitchford doesn't care. He's a little douchey. But here, let's get into the Cryptic Rant's new video. It's Randy Pitchford killed Borderlands 4.
The CEO of Gearbox Software, Randy Pitchford, might be the most out-of-touch CEOs in gaming. Now, in a recent video posted by Nintendo on Twitter, talking about the new Borderlands 4 game joining the Switch 2 catalog, now to signal boost that post, Randy quote tweeted it, emphasizing how he's happy for the game coming to the Switch. Now, up until this point...
Yeah, I think this dude would, like, kill. I said this in the last time I watched one of, Cryptic Grants. In Cryptic Nutsack's, last video, I really said that he needs a new background. Now, I reacted to these on the same day, so he hasn't had an opportunity to change it. I want to see, like, fire and, like, sadness in the back. I want to see, like, explosions. I want to see, like, people throwing Molotov, like, stills of people throwing Molotov cocktails behind you, bro. I think it would be so hilarious. I need you to go like have like unhinged chaos behind your little Catboy avatar. I think it's just like you have a chance here. You have an opportunity because you are a PNG to absolutely make the most funny things happen in the backgrounds of your videos.
Everything is fine. As a CEO, I would venture to say it's okay to make a comment on something like that. And joining a new platform like Nintendo 2, it's a good idea. Well, a user replied with, Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed into this notion of constant increase of the price tag. And I totally agree with this user. With more and more games coming out and budgets being...
And I'm going to be real. A lot of people have hated on the last couple of Borderlands. I like them personally. Well, I liked Borderlands 3. That was the first Borderlands I ever played. I really like Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I know I'm in the minority here. There's a lot of people that hate Gearbox Software, that hate everything that Randy Pitchford is associated with. But to be honest, I think both of the last Borderlands games, for me personally, were a really fun time. I don't think though that I'm willing to pay $80 for a new Borderlands, dude. I'll be waiting on that, dude. I'll wait until it does the Borderlands thing and drops down to like 5 cents.
Thinner and thinner. Gamers are having to pick and choose which game they're going to buy that month. And with the majority of these AAA Studios games being bust, with notable recent titles added to the list, including Concord, and the now public naming of Marathon, Concord 2.0, which also I made a video on that. Go check out the video I posted a couple days ago to see how Bungie killed...
It's a based video, guys. You need to be checking out this dude's content. He's killing it in regards to video game news.
The game before it even launched. I'll also link that video down in the description so it's easier to watch. Now, gamers are focusing on...
And again, you know what? me and him need to start a podcast. I keep saying that I'm going to start a podcast with everybody. This guy, me and him need to start a podcast. I will let him host the podcast on his channel. I don't give a shit. I think it'd be fun to start a podcast with somebody.
Purchasing indie titles that have more replayability and are also better on the budget. One that comes to mind is Schedule 1, and that totally threw what a game needed to be out the window, and went totally degenerate, and it worked. With months after release, it's still hovering around 32,000 players. Now, Randy continued the conversation with this user, saying, A, not my call, which you're the CEO of the company. I don't see how it couldn't be his call, unless the board is against it, or Nintendo is pressuring them to keep it at $80, which I could also see happening because Nintendo likes to keep their games at the same price so that those who bought it in the beginning aren't annoyed that other people are getting it for cheaper. And maybe Gearbox believes that the value of being on that platform...
I mean, okay, so I'm gonna give him a little charitability here, right? I'm gonna be a little bit nice to Randy Pitchford, which I don't like being. But A, not my call. If it's not his call, that's like if he's not the if there's somebody that's a project lead and like a person who makes the call on the pricing of the game and it's not him. I mean, he's a CEO, so I'm sure that he has some say. I think that he's kind of scapegoating a little bit, but at the same time, if he's giving it up to them to make those judgment calls, that he's hands off with the pricing and the game release and stuff like that, I think it's fair for him. He should have just said, "Oh, it's not my call. I have a team that handles all that. They will make the decisions at the end of the day." I do think where he goes is fucking wackadoodle. I'm a piece of shit mode. He's like, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Like, bro, nobody's gonna fucking buy your game at $80. I'm sorry, dude. They're gonna wait till it does the Borderlands thing of drop down to fucking 7 cents and a little piece of schmegma, and people will buy it when it hits that price point.
Is better than keeping those on the edge customers who are on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation who just simply can't afford the game. Now, he continued, B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school, working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. And people were surely concerned with the A part of that tweet, but the B part is what brushed people the wrong way. Now, a real fan isn't going to be the one who's going to be making sure you make profit on the game, with reports about it costing double the price of Borderlands 3, which came at a development budget of $140 million, making Borderlands 4 costing...
Dude, this is the problem with the modern gaming industry, bro. This is it right here. Now, you have games like RoboCop Rogue City, right, that cost a minor percentage of what this game costs. And it also has like a lot of your like normie gamers will see something like RoboCop, and they'll be like, yeah, but the facial animations, but I can't see the cum dripping out of RoboCop's penis at the same frame rate and fidelity that I would the graphics. Shut the fuck up, you cum goblin, bro. This graphics shit is why games cost so much anymore. I mean, if we actually just toned shit back a little bit, made development costs a lot cheaper, trimmed the fat at these studios, and went back to when the idea of making a game at like $20-30 million, every one of these games would be flipping profit. But the problem is now is these games are so bloated that the development teams are so bloated. Everything about it costs a gajillion billion dollars, and then what happens is they have to make that money back. That's how business works. So you have a few little options here. You got a few little fucking sneaky poo-poos. One is you raise the price of the game, which pisses everybody off because the initial purchase is more money. Two, you stuff the little son of a bitch full of microtransactions. You start with the pussy, you move to the asshole, and then you just start cramming it in their mouth, and eventually it's not even a game anymore. It's just a fucking store page. You're buying something off of a store page to go to another store page, and that's the problem with gaming. Is in this fight for better graphics and higher fidelity gaming, we have lost what made gaming special. The risky nature of gaming is gone. Everything is desensitized and fucking like cringe and lame and boring because they can't afford to make those risks anymore. Everything's, like I said, safe. It's just fucking safe. But they have to like shove as much monetization as possible in it to make the money back.
close to $300 million in development costs to make. And I don't believe they have enough real fans to pay $80 to cover that $300 million. Now, this story has gone viral with many YouTubers and writers making stories posting about this. And it makes me wonder if we're going to see another flop like we've seen AAA studios become known for. Now, to put it in perspective, the initial post got 300,000 views. The Twitter user's reply got 127,000. At the time of recording, the post we're talking about, Not My Call and Real Fans Finding a Way, got 1.9 million views with 3.9k comments, 2k retweets and quote tweets, and only 500 likes, which makes...
All right, so in order for that game to break even, it needs to sell 3,750,000 copies. It has to sell that many copies, which I think the game has the possibility of doing, but you've now put yourself in a situation that the game has to be a hit. I mean, Borderlands 4 or 3 sold, I'll find out here in a second, but it didn't sell, it sold a lot of copies, but I don't know if it sold 4 million or like 10 million copies or anything to like make, like, because this is breaking even. It needs, in order for it to be a success, it needs to probably hit at least 10 million games sold, and that has to be sold at full price. I mean, that's not talking about when the game hits its deep discounts.
It not so look so good for having a positive PR, and this might be a negative PR nightmare, as this is being seen as the next "you all have phones" from the Diablo Immortal release, and even some believing that at this point will be the end of Gearbox Software. And we'll look at a couple more tweets and responses to this.
So it does say that the entire Borderlands series has sold 93 million copies, right? And let's see if we can find Borderlands 3 being responsible for 22 million of those copies. Holy cow. Two being 2K's best-selling game, 30 million copies. So they sold less copies with Borderlands 3 than they did of Borderlands 2. Like, that's insane. 30 million copies is insane, but I do think that if I were Borderlands, right? If I were Borderlands, I would take and I would drop like 10%, like I would drop it down to like the $70 price point and like go with what the industry standard is right now. And just get, I mean, you have to sell more games, or even the 60. Let's do it by the 60 and see how many sales they would have to make. 5 million. So let's say they do 5 million, right? They need to make at least 5 million sales. But if they put it out at a $60 million price point, or $60 price point to show like goodwill to the rest of the industry, like Gearbox has like shit goodwill. 2K has shit goodwill. But imagine if they like convinced 2K to say, "Hey, motherfuckers, listen here. Let's just stroke each other's penises for 2 seconds and hear me out. We're gonna drop the price to 60. Say we are standing for the gamer, right? We stand for the gamer. Now it's bullshit. We know it's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. But we get a little media frenzy that puts both Nintendo and Microsoft in the crosshairs, and we get people that then buy our game simply for the fact that they want to make a statement to these other things. Make it a statement. Make it a movement in the gaming industry. The back to $60. And they have the power and they have a big enough IP to do that. I think that they could, people that don't even fucking like Borderlands anymore, the people who were burnt out because of Borderlands 3, will honestly have to say in their video, even if they don't like Borderlands 4, they'll be like, even though this wasn't the best Borderlands game, I do appreciate the fact that they priced it accordingly and they were willing to stand up against the industry. You know you'll get so many fucking soy boy bullshits to do that shit. You know those motherfucking little pussies will make such a big hill to die on. And I think that that's smart. Now, he obviously did the opposite, but if I were looking at it, that's what I would do.
With one user mentioning the price of Claire Obscure Expedition 33 being only $50. And I've seen online some saying it's in the Game of the Year contention. So you can either get a Game of the Year game or play a free-to-play game like Warframe, which is seeing player growth for sticking with its core community and creating a well-rounded game for those new and old to the title. Now, with all this, do I think Borderlands 4 is going to be worth the $80? No. Was I a fan of Borderlands 3? No.
I like Borderlands 3. So I already understand that that was the first Borderlands I ever played. So I have a really weird skewed opinion of it. I got Borderlands 3 for like a nickel and a blowjob, and like my Xbox blew me to get Borderlands 3, and I played it and I had a blast with it. I was like, holy shit, this Borderlands shit is fun. And I then went back and started playing some of the other games. And I actually still think if you haven't played Borderlands before, even though I played the other games now and I think they are better, I still think Borderlands 3 is a good starting point just because it has the best mechanics in the series.
I purchased Borderlands 3? Yes. Will I be buying Borderlands 4? No, probably not. Probably not. Now, if more does come out about this story, I'll be sure to update you. Slop on.
Well, that was again, dude. I'm liking this guy. I think he's got some really good takes. I think this guy be out here just slamming some butts. I'm just gonna type that right now, bro. Be out here slamming butts. Yeah, dude. No, I like the broken. I like the broken English. I think it's funny. But yeah, that was Cryptic Rants. If you're seeing this later, I have like the worst thumbnail of all time on this stream. So you're probably nobody's gonna end up seeing this stream, and they'll probably just see this VOD. But I want you guys to go check this guy out. I think I like when I find good small creators that are kind of undiscovered yet, because I wish that this would have happened for me. Like not just saying like, oh, you know, nobody in this company. It's not like I need this to happen for me or anything. I just like it's something cool that I wish like somebody would have picked me up and like saw one of my videos and be like, oh shit, dude, this guy's spitting facts, and then like signal boosted me. I think that would have been cool, and I think this guy's be killing it. I really do. But let's follow him on Twitter, dude. Let's give him an old follow on Twitter. The king of non-AI slop, bro. Well, I'm the king of slop. So if this motherfucker thinks he's gonna take my reign, get out of my life, bro. You think you can stand up to me and be the king of slop? Step the fuck out of my lane, dog. But yeah, that's Cryptic Rants. Give him a follow on Twitter. Give me a follow on Twitter. I'm at Jiffy Coats, bro. I'm at Jiffy Coats. Let's go to my thing. At Jiffy Coats, go follow me on Twitter. I'm do I post very often? No, not really, but I post sometimes. I post more decent than some of these douchebags out here. But yeah, go check out my Twitter, and thank you guys so much. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.